All right, welcome back, brothers and sisters. We have got something that just dropped a few moments ago that you all need to be aware of. It is becoming a habit of this DOJ to drop pro 2A stuff on Fridays. All right, I don't know the outcome. I'll say it straight out in front. I don't know all the ins and outs of this. I cannot tell you through the 36 pages of rules that they just dropped whether it's going to be perfect, not perfect, bad, or horrible. I don't know that. What I'm doing in this video right now is I'm going to show you what the DOJ just dropped around reclaiming and reclamation of rights that would be underneath a felonious conviction, okay? This just dropped about an hour and a half ago, so make sure you guys send this one out. You hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, interact as much as you can with all the hearts, the emojis, the 100%, all the little things you guys drop all the time, because the more of that happens, the more this goes further. So as you guys get in here, you're just now catching up. Make sure audio video is good over here in the chat, and we should be off to the races. All right, looks like notifications went out this time, which is incredibly remarkable. Let's get into this. I've actually got to change this over because I am remiss of my duties as a host. I did not have it ready. Hold on. I'm gonna get this right for you guys because I got to make this presentation on point. You guys know how I do. All right. We are much better placed now. Excellent. All right. So if you guys are just now getting in here, let me set this up. The DOJ within an hour, maybe 15 minutes ago, just dropped a new rule that's just coming out of the DOJ that's going to be in the Federal Register. Let me lay this out for you. This is the exact same process that we saw with the Biden administration, where they would just basically pound and pound and pound upon our gun rights all over the place. Pistol brace rule, ghost rule, all the Biden magic executive actions. That was going through the rule process, through the DOJ, being enforced by the ATF, into the Federal Register. Same rules apply. You're going to have people who are going to have opportunity to comment. You're going to have opportunity to comment. This is that process. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's perfect, bad, good, indifferent. What I'm going to tell you right now is what's happening, and then we're going to dive into it later because there's 36 pages on this rule that just dropped. So let's get into it. We got 700 people in here. That is amazing. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. Let's jump in. All right. So this is from NAGR. This was about an hour ago-ish. A new rule proposed on Friday would provide citizens restricted from owning guns due to their criminal conviction a path to restoring those rights. Now, why this is important? This part I can tell you is a good thing. They aren't waiting on Congress to make all of these laws to do this. They're going through the executive process. They're going the basically executive rulemaking off-ramp, okay? And you're going to hear dings in a second from all the people I'm talking to, so if that happens, bear with me. I'm getting more information for you. But let me give you a high level, because this is the reporting from Newsweek that NAGR just posted to, okay? Trump admin proposes major change to gun laws. Now, this is important. So, yeah, it actually dropped 20 minutes ago. This is a very important piece on this. In this article, it's wrong what they're saying, because you're going to hear a lot of confusing language around the word bill and introduce a bill. This is not a bill at all. Flat, period, full stop. This is a rule put forward by the DOJ, which will be in the Federal Register. Okay, it doesn't need to go through Congress. Bills go through Congress. Rules do not. Okay, you're going to hear it a lot here in a second, so I'm just saying that out in front. The Department of Justice announced Friday it has proposed a new rule that could grant gun rights to potentially thousands of Americans who are currently barred from owning firearms. Why it matters? The proposed rule comes as the Trump administration continues efforts to roll back regulations on guns, including restrictions on the NFA tax on certain firearms. That's obviously the one big beautiful bill. The proposal leverages and amplifies an existing legal process that has lacked notable enforcement and use and could restore thousands of American gun rights. Now, again, this is nonviolent felons. I can tell you that. I've looked through the actual document, and it's linked in this description box below, but it's for nonviolent felons. So a few caveats. We're going to do a full deep dive. There's like 8 videos I have on deck right now. So make sure you got that notification bell on and it's turned on, because this is crazy. It's either been feast or famine on content. It's insane. Several people have already had their gun rights restored under Trump's second term, including actor Mel Gibson, who was barred due to his misdemeanor domestic violence conviction in 2011. And I will get to comments, super chats, everything in chats over here in a second. What to know? Under federal law, people, quote, convicted in any court of crime punishable by imprisonment for a term exceeding 1 year are ineligible to own a firearm. That's what this is addressing. The Gun Control Act outlines other federal restrictions on gun ownership, such as certain misdemeanors related to domestic violence, immigration status, controlled substance addicts, and people who have been involuntarily committed to mental health facilities, among others. The DOJ proposed rule would create a pathway for individuals with criminal convictions to have their gun rights restored, with final discretion left to the Attorney General on a case-by-case basis. Now, right off the bat, I could see that being a problem if you've got a bottleneck like that. So basically, worst case scenario, you have a good Attorney General in the good administration, it's like 4 years of reinstatement, and then you get a bad one, and it's like 4 years of nothing. Again, the feast or famine thing. But again, high level. 20 minutes ago this dropped. Exceptions would apply to undocumented immigrants, violent felons, and registered sex offenders. So that's basically all the exceptions. They would not allow that. That's what that's saying. Violent felons, sex offenders, and undocumented immigrants, which stacks on a Seventh Circuit court, which I haven't even hit yet, which I need to, about immigrants and are they part of the people? Like literally, guys, the content is just stacking and stacking and stacking. Yeah, right here. This is where I was saying it was going to get confusing. The unofficial text of the proposed bill states, quote, "The criteria are designed to ensure a fundamental right of the people to keep and bear arms is not unduly infringed, that those granted relief are not likely to act in a manner dangerous to public safety, and that granting such relief would be contrary to the public interest." Again, this part right here, the proposed bill, you guys can see that, right? Yeah. It's not a bill. It is a rule. It is a completely different thing. I don't really need to go through the quotes. That's not that important. Official copy of the proposed bill is to be published next week. Again, it's a published rule. They're just announcing it right now, which is the exact same thing that the Biden administration did. But enough of the Newsweek article. Let me get you over here to the actual DOJ. So this is the Office of Public Affairs for the United States Department of Justice. And if you're just now getting in here, guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, hit all the little hearts and hundreds and smiley faces and thumbs up you guys like to do, because it's all about engagement right now. And of course, follow me at Braden LOA on X to get the latest. All right, back to this. This is from the actual DOJ. Justice Department publishes proposed rule to grant relief to certain individuals precluded from possessing firearms. As you can see here on the date, Friday, July 18th, 2025. I see you guys with the hundreds, and thank you very much. That helps the stream a lot, and it's completely free. And oddly satisfying. I don't know why. Washington. President Trump directed the Department of Justice to address the ongoing infringements of the Second Amendment rights of our citizens. All of them. I'm going to zoom in on this so you can read it with me. Yeah, that's fine. Federal law disables the firearms rights of many citizens who have been convicted of crimes without regard to whether they actually pose a threat of violence. But federal law also empowers the Attorney General to restore Second Amendment rights to individuals who are not likely to act in a manner dangerous to public safety. Today, the Department of Justice submitted to the Office of the Federal Register, again, a proposed rule, not a bill, a proposed rule, regarding the exercise of the Attorney General's authority to grant relief to individuals who are otherwise precluded from possessing firearms. Again, this is a positive step in the direction at the high level. I haven't had a chance to read all 36 pages. I'm going to show you at high level what I'm talking about. I mean, the documents. But high level, this seems promising. Again, holding judgment, reserving judgment just yet. For too long, countless Americans with criminal histories have been permanently disenfranchised from exercising the right to keep and bear arms, a right every bit as constitutionally enshrined as the right to vote, the right to free speech, and the right to free exercise of religion, irrespective of whether they actually pose a threat, said Attorney General Pam Bondi, no longer. That sounds like her. The proposed rule will provide citizens whose firearm rights are currently under legal disability with an avenue to restore those rights while keeping firearms out of the hands of dangerous criminals and illegal aliens. Ultimate discretion to grant relief will remain with the Attorney General, and she will exercise that discretion on a case-by-case basis in light of all available facts and evidence that bear on an individual's application. But absent extraordinary circumstances, violent felons, registered sex offenders, and illegal aliens in particular will remain presumptively ineligible for relief. So that's the same thing that you saw in the Newsweek article. Again, high level, it looks like it's centered at the AG. Could be bad, could be good. We'll see. Let's keep on going. General Bondi's support of the rebooted program is consistent with Donald Trump's promise to the American people to support the beautiful Second Amendment. Said U.S. Pardon Attorney Edward Martin, "My team and I are developing a program landing page with sophisticated user-friendly platform for Americans petitioning for the return of their gun rights, which will make the process easier for them." So they're making a portal for you to actually apply for it. Okay. The Justice Department welcomes comments from communities that will be affected by the final rule, including law enforcement, victims advocates, elected officials, and individuals who would like to apply to have their gun rights restored, because this proposed rule is intended to create a fair and thoughtful system to evaluate applications for the restoration of firearms rights. The Justice Department recommends that individuals seeking the restoration of their firearm rights review and comment on the proposed process rather than submit applications at this time. This part right here, actually, let me hit right here. This is the takeaway. Comment on the proposed process. This is where you get to engage directly with your opponents on the gun control side, because they are going to launch full-on assaults on this. This is think of this as just like when they went after ghost guns, just like frames and receivers, just like they went after pistol braces. They're going to deploy all of their forces to go and comment on this, and you guys have to outweigh them. That's effectively where it's at. You get to engage directly with your opponents and ratio them. We did a great job today on my X account at Braden LOA on X. This is where it's going to go next. Once the comment period is open, then it's going to go into the next process of approval, not approval, and then enforcement. Once that enforcement happens, you've got X amount of days until it becomes a reality. Right now, the next step is it's going to be a comment process war, which I'm totally here with, because we can totally outshout the gun controllers because their engagement sucks. All right, and this right here, this is the actual rule. Everything I have for you is linked in the description box below. You can read the whole thing. It's 36 pages. It shows you all the details, and I'm sure we will have many breakdowns coming up with it this weekend. If I don't see them, I will do it. I'm pretty sure we're going to see them. I'll probably still do it. But yeah, that is effectively where we're at. This is 36 pages of the ins and outs of how this will work, and we will get you a breakdown of it for absolute certain. But that's what I wanted to bring to you guys today. I don't want to keep you too long. I know some of my lives have been going a little bit longer because they're really fun. But right, where do we comment? Fred Samuel says, great, it's not available yet. It will be available on the Federal Register. The second that I have that, I will blast it out. I will make sure all of my outlets, from the podcast to the X account, to the YouTube channel, everything, all of our outlets, Katie's channel, we will all blast on this. And then I'll let you know. Braden Herrera in 2028, says Nathan Meyer. I don't know, the world's not ready for that. That's one great hair, one no hair, and then one great personality and beard, and one, it's just guy with boots, jeans and boots. Let's just be honest. I love me some Brandon, though. All right, guys, listen. Everything will be linked in the description box below. I love each and every one of you just the right amount that makes you feel comfortable. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. We are going to break this down, and I will see you on the next one. There are like 9 things I've got to tell you about in short order. Stay tuned. Later.